with Led Zeppelin, you started singing a lot of like blues and rhythm and blues influence material, like,
Yeah.
Muddy Waters, You Shook Me. Did you feel like you had to change your voice when you started singing music inspired, by rhythm and blues?
Not really, because I'd always been, well, that's not always, but from the age of about 14, 14 and a half, in the town where I lived, there was a very strong, healthy movement towards a kind of subculture, a bohemian culture where there were poetry meetings. There was a lot of post-bebop jazz being played and listened to, and the blues was, strangely enough, almost mainstream in this particular town, thanks to the art colleges and the students in the area. So I was very familiar with blues, with the idiom of singing, and I'd been singing like that for quite a long time, experimenting. I mean, if you listen to a lot of the early English and early American white kids who were involved with blues, Mike Bloomfield, Elvin Bishop, I guess Dave Van Ronk, the people who worked in the coffee houses alongside Dylan in the early 60s, everybody, and Dylan as well. I mean, that first album, Down the Highway and See That My Grave Is Kept Clean, there's some great blues there. And everybody developed a style of their own, which was accommodating and natural, I suppose, restrictions and inabilities. So I was wailing all the time, and I'm sure that half the time it was not as good as it could have been. But, it got better.
Now, with Led Zeppelin, you were wailing over some pretty loud music.
Well, that's right. I had to wail. I had no choice, really. The equipment was pretty inferior in those days, and for PAs, the actual public address system at gigs was... I mean, I remember one night in Zeppelin we played Columbus, Ohio, the university, with, I think, Jose Feliciano. And the PA was actually a cluster of speakers right up in the apex of the room. It was a circular building with the statutory 60s students sitting around, looking suitably astonished or vacant or whatever it was. And the PA was miles up in the air, and there was no chance on earth that the voice could project. So I did have to kick in a lot throughout those early days. I think it was not until about 1970 that Led Zeppelin actually purchased a PA, or rather, I purchased the PA because I was a singer. And then I made John Bonham pay some of it because he was the drummer. And we used 2 overhead microphones, a bass drum and a snare mic. So I said, well, you use 4 times more microphones than I do. As it happened, we reached an amicable solution as far as the cost of things.
How come you still have a voice after singing that loud for so long?
Oh, because it's all about dynamics. And it's also all about, with technique, the last thing in the world that you can do is just blast like crazy. You have to work your way into a tour as you work your way into an evening of singing. You have to take it steady to begin with, make sure that, if you can, that the introduction of the show is kind to you. That wasn't always the case in Led Zepp, but I mean, I've been in dressing rooms with lots of musicians where the singers go into the toilet and start shrieking at the walls of the toilet, and it's very painful to the casual listener and onlooker, but they seem to think that psychologically is the answer, that it'll make them be much more warmed up when they go on stage. But I prefer Neil Young's way of doing it. You stand in a circle, and it's almost like sort of a kind of cosmic barbershop warm-up where you go, and you do that for about half an hour and have a lie down.
Right. So you actually warm up. Okay.
I don't warm up, but he does, and that's a good way of doing it.
Oh, so you admire it, but don't really do it yourself.
I haven't got time. I have a couple of hot cups of coffee, or a cup of tea, keep quiet, don't talk to anybody, sit in the dark for 5 minutes, and then go.
Let's hear another track from your new CD, which is called 66 to Timbuktu. And we were talking about moving over toward blues and rhythm and blues music. And this is an early example of that. This is again before Led Zeppelin, from the late '60s. This is with Alexis Korner, the British blues musician. The song is called Operator. You already hear your voice sounding a little more Led Zeppelin-ish on this.
Exactly, yeah. And that was probably, I don't know, 6-7 months later than the first recording that you played. And really, it's just the idiom. It's just the style of music that dictates a different presentation.
Okay, well, let's hear it. This is like around
Sure.
67, you'd say?
Oh, yeah, early 67, I think.
Okay. So this is Robert Plant with Alexis Korner, Operator.
I've got to leave you, baby. I don't care what you say. Leave you, darling. Come back home one sunny day. Down the road I go. What you gonna do then? What you gonna do then? I'm gonna find myself a little woman. People to look after all my kids. Tell me about it one more time now, come on. Sad Lord, baby, I hate to leave you this way. What way do you want to leave? Baby, 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 so long. I sure do hate to leave you this way. But what way, but when I come back home, yes, baby, baby, you know I've been away. Oh, yeah.
That's Robert Plant from his new CD, 66 to Timbuktu, which collects recordings that he made before and after playing with Led Zeppelin.
Wondering, one place